How cute is that? Somebody sitting in that truck. There is. Today we're headed to Nanaimo. The hydraulics fluid hose on our Davit looks like it's about to spring a leak. So we found a place where we can get a new one in Nanaimo, and we're headed there now. And here is our trip on March 23rd, 2022. We departed Ladysmith around 11:30 a.m., headed to Nanaimo. It was a distance of 24 nautical miles, and it took us about 4.75 hours. We were probably a half an hour early to get through Dod Narrows, so we had to wait a bit. On our plotter, if there's an arrow, we can click on it and it will show when the tide is changing and the current. Right now the current is against us and it's at a negative 2.6.
I'll give it another couple minutes.
Couple minutes?
Or so.
And we are ready to go.
Security, 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 security. Havaseas, Havaseas, Havaseas. 58-foot motorboat transiting Dod Narrows northbound. Standing by on channel 16 and 6 for opposed and concerned traffic.
Okay, so we're right here. We're ready to go.
Security, 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 security. Havaseas, Havaseas, Havaseas. 58-foot.
A security call is placed both on channel 16 and the working channel.
Channel 16 and 6 for concerned and opposed traffic.
They made it. Can you imagine the mess and chaos if they didn't make it? I bet they were nervous. And this is what I see right behind us. Guess they didn't want to wait for us. The last time we were in Nanaimo, it was in January. It wasn't quite as nice on the first day that we got there, but instead of going to the dock, we chose to anchor. This is the Nanaimo Harbor, and this is where you anchor. Here's Eric checking out where we decided to anchor. If you watched our playlist of coming south from Juneau, Alaska, you'll remember that in Nanaimo, we managed to hook an extra anchor in this spot. Eric doesn't want to repeat that experience. Anchoring at Nanaimo is fine, but it does give you that opportunity to take your dinghy down. We have covers not only on our dinghy, but also on our Davit, so the process is rather cumbersome. The Nanaimo anchorage is over here, and the dinghy docks are over here. What do you think, Diston? We need to tie off our dinghy in front of this building. But how do we get there? We ended up having to go around that dock where the float plane is. So we came around that dock, came on over here, went under that, and parked over there. We called the Port Authority to find out where we should park. Here's another view of the dinghy dock. While we had the dinghy down, we also took the opportunity to take it through the Newcastle Island Passage. We had eyed the passage, but weren't sure if we wanted to take the big boat through there. There was more than adequate room. Float plane and a ferry. Sometimes it's nice to see where you're headed in the small boat before you take your big boat. And here we are coming out of the other side of the passage. On a later trip, we did take the Havaseas through the passage and had no issues at all. When we visited Nanaimo in March, we went to the Nanaimo Yacht Club. The Nanaimo Yacht Club is a reciprocal with the Juneau Yacht Club and allows boats up to 60 feet. We were very excited since the Havaseas is a 55-foot boat. With our swim step, it's a 58-foot boat. We thought it was awesome that we fell within their limits. Being at a dock was important because we were in Nanaimo to fix our Davit. We're on the outside of the K-Dock, which is where the visitors or reciprocals stay. The Yacht Club building's up there. It's a nice dock. We checked in with the Yacht Club, we paid our fee, and we went to explore. Nanaimo has this great little walkway that goes quite a ways along the water. And that's where we are moored currently. Out there is also where we have anchored. Once again, Canada has another great park on the water. We're gonna go see if anybody's catching any fish. So they actually do recreational crab fishing here. So they're throwing these in and then pulling them back up. They are actually catching crabs right off the dock. I guess you leave them out there for about 10 minutes. Check it out. I've always wondered about the Nanaimo bar and whether or not it was related to this location. Looks like it is. They're pretty dang good too. Coffee shop. And fisherman's markets, but they're not open. So 10 meters is the waterfront walkway. We're here. Museums, conference centers. So we walked from all the way over here, around there, and down to here. Go up from the harbor and go left. There's a Thrifty Foods, a BC Liquor, Subway, Dollarama, and a fresh slice and a bank. There's a pantry restaurant. There was a hair cutting place. Life Labs. I wonder if that's for testing for COVID at all. There's a Wendy's. Of course, there's an A&W. And check this out. They have a casino. I'm starting to figure out that they provide all the services that you might need pretty close to the marinas, which I really appreciate. We went inland a bit and we got to Commercial Street, and it's looking like this kind of may be their main street of shops. So we're gonna go check it out. Here's a cute little shop. Got some fancy stuff. Beachwear. I'm kind of getting the impressions they like sparklies around here. Serious coffee. Look, $2 a piece. Plus, I saw that they have the full thing of Scandal in there, so I may have to get that. So this little store, I got 2 movies and 3 seasons of Scandal, and he even gave me one of the movies free because I bought so many. This is a nice little place to stop. It not only has the DVDs, it also has CDs and records. It's called Fascinating Rhythm. And this is what always catches my attention. They've got like $2 movies out. Funk Revival. Consignments for all genders, shapes, and sizes. Another clothing store. Ooh, a bakery. Come on. Red Shelf Decor. Local traffic only. There's a crepe place. And a Flying Fish Cooking, Living, and Giving. Check out that. I love carpet. Acrylic. Indoor outdoor rug. That's kind of cute. And they're nice to dogs and put water out. Corporations. This must be the Nanaimo Co-op for Artists. Got some cute stuff. Well, this sounds like a good walk. It's the Heritage Walk, and you can get the brochure at the museum and a self-guided tour. If we were going to be here longer, I would do that, maybe when we come back. The walk ended at the Bastion. The Hudson's Bay Company began construction on the Bastion in 1853. As with other posts across western North America, its primary purpose was to defend the company's workers from potential attack. Unlike the other posts, there was no defensive wall around the cluster of homes, storehouses, and mine buildings. And back to the real reason we're in Nanaimo. We're here to fix the Davit. Okay.
So, replaced some hoses on the Davit in order to make me feel more comfortable. We had originally, for a little while, had a break in the insulation, exterior insulation, right there on the old hose. So I replaced this hose because it had that pinhole crack and it did look like it was starting to weep. And if that goes out, if that would to burst, the whole crane would this crane would fall down. So something you don't want to have happen. So replace this hose here, and then since it was easy to do, I also replaced this one. The top hose goes into this junction and the other hose goes into this junction. So both these fittings were easy to get at. I used caps to cap off the junction so I wouldn't lose any more oil than necessary. It actually worked out real well. Didn't lose virtually any oil at all, hydraulic oil. Back about a year ago, I think it was, we had this boom taken off the boat, and we had this interior ram which extends the boom worked on and replaced by a hydraulic place out of Seattle. At that time, they changed the hose for that ram here, although it looks like they did not change that one. So there's another easy candidate to change. If I'd have known that, we would have just changed that too. But anyway, at some point in the future, probably going to need to change all of these hoses, including the ones that go down through the deck. I'm not sure that they're original equipment or not, but just to be on the safe side, and put new hoses on them. Thing about the stuff that's going to go through the deck is there's only so much room, so I'm not sure if we'll end up with a thicker, more rubberized tubing than the thinner, more uses the least space. So anyway. So now I feel a little more comfortable with the crane. It's always something to be suspending a boat. I don't know how much our skiff weighs, but it's at least 1,000 pounds. Suspending that above the boat and above the water, but now I feel more comfortable with it.
Well, how did you get the cables to replace it?
Oh, I walked up to a place that made up hoses. Most any parts store, Napa, they'll make up, it wasn't a Napa, but they'll make up hoses for you. Just bring in your old ones and they'll make them up to the same length and the other specifications that you say that you want to have done, if you want anything different done. So.
The good news is we were able to get our Davit fixed in Nanaimo. The disappointing news is, although all of our boat documentation states that our boat is a 55-foot boat, turned into a 58 with the swim step, the yacht club president, using his feet, walking the dock, determined that we were really a 61-foot boat. I'm sure that all the other measurements were a lot more accurate than his feet, but he's the president of the yacht club, so we ended up back on the hook. But how can life be bad on the water?
Havaseas you next time.